They thought they could bury you in darkness, but what they failed to see was that you were born to rise in the light. They underestimated you. They thought the weight of their lies and cruelty would break you, but all they did was plant the seeds of your transformation. They don't know who you really are, and more importantly, they don't know what you're capable of when you reclaim your power. You have been to the depths, felt every doubt, every fear, every tear. But now, right now, it's time to rise. It's time to let go of the darkness that has tried to define you and step into a truth far greater than any lie they ever told. This isn't a message for the faint of heart. This is for the ones who have been knocked down so many times that the ground beneath them feels like home. This is for those who have stared into the abyss and seen nothing but their own brokenness. But I'm here to tell you, it's time to awaken from that nightmare. This moment, this truth is what you've been waiting for. You've been walking in the shadows for too long, but no more. You were never meant to stay hidden, to shrink in fear, to be silenced by those who don't even know the power you hold. You're not here by accident. You've been shaped by every hardship, every betrayal, every challenge. And now, those very things that once tried to break you will become the fuel that lights your fire. What they didn't understand, what they couldn't see, is that darkness can never extinguish the light within you. They thought they could bury you, but you are the one who will rise. And when you do, you will shine brighter than they ever imagined. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that time is now. It's time for you to stop questioning your worth, to stop listening to the voices that say you're not enough. Those voices, whether they come from the world, from others, or from the fears in your own mind, are nothing but echoes of lies. They are not the truth of who you are. You have something they can't touch, something they could never take from you. You have power, resilience, and a fire inside you that no one can snuff out. But you have to choose to believe it. You have to choose to believe in the truth of your own strength. And right now I'm giving you that choice. You are standing on the edge of a revolution, a personal revolution that begins with you. This is the turning point, the moment where you decide who you will be. Will you continue to shrink back, to play small, to let the weight of their lies keep you down? Or will you rise, unshaken, unstoppable, ready to claim the life that was always meant to be yours? You've been through hell, but that hell has only forged you. You are not what they did to you. You are not the sum of your struggles. You are the sum of your potential, your unyielding spirit, and the light you've been hiding from the world for far too long. It's time to stop dimming yourself. It's time to stop hiding your power. It's time for you to stand tall, to let them see what they could never take from you, the truth of your strength. This message is for those who are ready to break free. It's for those who are done living in the shadow of other people's expectations. It's for those who are ready to leave behind the pain of the past and step into a future that is theirs for the taking. You were never meant to remain in the dark. You were meant to rise, to shine, and to make the world see the truth of who you are. The time is now. The world is waiting, but more importantly, you are waiting. For yourself, the truth of your greatness is about to come alive, and there is nothing that can stop it. Not their lies, not their doubts, not the darkness they tried to bury you in. The light is yours. It always was. It's time to claim it. You have felt it, haven't you? That weight, the heaviness that settles deep in your chest every time you take a step forward, only to find yourself pulled back, dragged down by the voices that tell you you're not enough. They told you that your dreams were too big, too impossible, too naive. They told you that you were too small, too weak, too broken to ever make it. And for a time you believed them, didn't you? The whispers, the cold stares, the dismissals, they cut deep, each one carving another wound into your soul, another scar to remind you of the world's rejection. The lies they planted took root inside you, and for years, you carried them like a heavy burden. Every moment you tried to rise, those lies pulled you back down, chaining you to a belief that you were never meant to be more than what they told you. You've been through the fire, through storms that threatened to break you, to shatter everything you thought you knew about yourself. The world told you that you were insignificant, that your pain was just the cost of living, that you didn't matter. But what they didn't understand, what they could never comprehend, is that they were wrong. Every step you took, every breath you drew, even in your darkest moments, was proof that they were wrong. It wasn't just the world that held you back. It was also the battle inside, the battle with your own mind, the doubts that whispered when you looked in the mirror, when you tried to chase a dream, when you thought about standing tall and proud. Those voices of fear that told you, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you never make it? They weren't just the voices of others, they were your own too. You carried both the weight of external judgment and the internal war of self-doubt, and together, they created a storm that threatened to drown you. But here's the thing, they were never the truth. They were never the reality of who you are. They were just the lies, the external forces, and the internal fears trying to keep you from discovering your true power. They were the villains in your story. The ones who wanted you to believe that your light didn't matter, that your strength was a weakness, that your dreams were too far out of reach, and it's time to face them. The villain didn't have a face at first, did it? At first, it was just a feeling, a gnawing sense of something missing, of not measuring up. It was the whispers of the people who didn't believe in you, the ones who told you that your voice didn't matter, that your presence was a nuisance. It was the toxic people who made you feel small, made you feel like you were always the last choice, the one who never quite fit in. The ones who loved to see you stumble, the ones who thrived on your misfortune. You didn't realize it then, but they were the ones who built the cage around your potential. They were the ones who tried to keep you in the dark. But the worst villain wasn't just external, it was the one that lived inside your mind. The villain was the fear that told you you weren't good enough, the shame that followed every failure, the guilt that weighed you down when you couldn't be perfect, when you couldn't keep it all together. That voice that told you you would never be strong enough to face the future, that you would always be limited by your past, that whispered in your ear every time you tried to break free, convincing you that you weren't worthy of happiness, of success, of love. But you know what? The pain you've felt, the rejection, the doubt, it doesn't define you. It never has. It doesn't matter how many times they told you that you were too much or not enough. It doesn't matter how many times they tried to make you believe that your worth was tied to their approval. It doesn't matter how often you've stumbled or fallen flat on your face, because those moments are not the measure of your value. You are not the failures, not the insults, not the betrayals. You are not the moments where you felt weak, lost, or invisible. Those things happened, yes, but they do not define who you are. They are just pieces of your story, just chapters that were written by forces beyond your control. But you are the one holding the pen now. You are the one who will write the next chapter, and that chapter will be one of power, of resilience, of triumph over the things that tried to hold you back. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel like you've been through the worst of it. It's okay to feel like you've been beaten down, like you've been made to question yourself over and over again. But you cannot stay there. You cannot let those moments of pain and doubt define the rest of your life. The struggle is real, yes. The hurt is valid. But that struggle is not the end of your story. It's just the beginning. They tried to steal your worth, to convince you that you were nothing, that you would never make it. But they were wrong. They were wrong then, and they are wrong now. The truth is, the light you carry cannot be extinguished by their words, their rejection, or their hate. You are stronger than you've ever realized. You are more capable than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. The pain you felt, it's not something that will keep you down forever. It's something that will be the foundation of your strength. You've survived it all. Every doubt, every rejection, every battle. Because you were always meant to rise. The villain didn't win. Not yet. And is not going to win. Not now. Because you are waking up, you are remembering who you really are. And once you reclaim that truth, once you take back your power, those villains will have no more hold over you. There were moments, countless moments, when you looked into the mirror and saw nothing but broken pieces staring back at you. You wondered if you would ever make it out of the fog, if there was even a way forward. The weight of it all, the crushing doubts, the relentless whispers of your own inadequacy, they clouded everything. Your reflection seemed like a stranger, someone who had been worn down by life's relentless blows. You were no longer sure where the hurt ended and you began. You tried to push through, to find a way out, but every time you took a step forward, something pulled you back, dragging you deeper into the dark. You wondered if this was it, the place you were destined to stay forever, stuck in a pit that no one, not even you, could climb out of. In those moments, time felt like an enemy. It moved too quickly when you wanted to escape, and it dragged on endlessly when you wanted to heal. There was no way out, no way forward, only a perpetual cycle of trying and failing, of hoping and being let down. And as the days went by, it felt like you were running out of time to fix it all, to make it right, to get back to who you used to be. You saw others moving forward with their lives, chasing their dreams, achieving their goals, and it only deepened the ache. Why was it so easy for them? Why did everything seem so hard for you? The self-doubt gnawed at you, tearing you apart from the inside out, until you felt like you had nothing left to give. There were nights when the silence in your room was deafening, when you lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the weight of everything pressing on your chest, and you wondered if anyone even noticed how much you were struggling. It felt like you were invisible, lost in a sea of faces, unheard in a world that kept moving forward without you. You thought, maybe this is all I'm worth. Maybe this is the best it's ever going to get. Those thoughts, those suffocating feelings, seemed to have no end. Every time you tried to stand, to rise, you were knocked down again. And it felt like the world was watching, waiting for you to fail. It wasn't just the outside world that wore you down. It was the battle inside your own mind. The voice that told you you weren't strong enough, that you didn't deserve happiness, that you didn't deserve to be loved or to succeed. It was relentless. It told you that no matter how hard you tried, it was never going to be enough. And the worst part? You started to believe it. You started to doubt yourself so deeply that you couldn't even recognize who you were anymore. The person you used to be, the one full of hope, full of fight, seemed like a distant memory. You wondered if you'd ever feel like that again, if you'd ever find the strength to push through. The fear was paralyzing, wasn't it? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being alone. It ate at your resolve, whispering that it wasn't worth trying anymore, that you were destined to remain stuck in this place forever. The days blurred together in a haze of hopelessness, and you couldn't see the way out, couldn't even fathom what the future might hold. You thought you had no more fight left in you. You thought that perhaps the person you once were, the one who dreamed big, who believed in the impossible, had been lost forever. Maybe it was all just a fantasy, something you'd never be able to reach. But let me tell you something. That voice is a lie. That fear is a lie. The darkness you feel right now, it's not forever. No matter how heavy it feels, no matter how thick the fog seems, it will not last. The storm always passes. The night always gives way to the dawn. You're not stuck. You're not hopeless. You're just at the edge of a shift, on the precipice of the change you've been waiting for, whether you realize it or not. I know it's hard to believe right now. I know it feels like the weight of everything is too much to carry. You're tired. You're worn out. You fought so many battles, faced so many setbacks, and it feels like you're just about to crumble under the pressure. But I need you to hear this. You are not done. You may feel like you've hit rock bottom, but rock bottom is where transformation begins. It's where you stop pretending to be something you're not, where you stop wearing the mask that others have tried to put on you. When you reach the depths, you realize there's nowhere left to fall, and that's when the real rise begins. Right now, in the middle of your despair, there's a seed of change growing inside you. It's small, almost invisible, but it's there. You don't feel it yet, but it's coming. You are on the brink of something new. The person you are becoming is stronger, braver, and more resilient than the person you were yesterday. The pain you feel right now, it's part of your evolution. It's part of your journey towards something far greater than you've imagined. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know it's hard to see through the fog, but I also know this. You are not defined by the darkness you're in. You are defined by the strength it takes to rise from it. And you will rise. You may not see it yet, but it's coming. The storm will pass, and the light will return. The fears that have held you captive, they will lose their grip. The lies that have shaped your reality, they will be shattered. The world may have tried to break you, but it's about to witness something extraordinary. You're about to become the person you were always meant to be. This darkness, it's only temporary, and when you emerge from it, you will see the world in a way you never have before. You will see your own strength, your own power, your own light. This is not the end, this is just the beginning. In the darkest of moments, when everything feels lost, there's something most people don't understand about you. They look at you and see only the brokenness, the pain, the scars. They see only the aftermath of the battle, never knowing that beneath it all, something powerful is stirring. You are not the darkness. You are not the weight of the world pressing down on you. You are the spark that refuses to be extinguished. What they failed to see in their judgment, in their attempts to bury you, is that darkness can never overpower light. It can dim it, yes. It can cloud it, yes. But it can never destroy what was always meant to shine. Even the deepest scars you carry, they are not marks of failure. They are the story of survival, of endurance. Each scar tells a tale of resilience, of you standing tall even when everything around you was trying to make you fall. Each wound, each hurt, is proof that you've been through the fire and you're still here, still fighting. That is no small thing. That is strength. That is power. That is the light that can never be snuffed out. In the depths of your struggle, there's a whisper you may not hear yet, but it's there. It's the whisper of your own power, of your potential. It's the truth that no matter how dark things get, you have everything inside you to rise. You may not feel it now, but deep within, the seeds of change have already been planted. They were there long before you even realized it. And with every moment, every breath, every step you take, those seeds are starting to sprout. The process of transformation has already begun. You are already in the process of becoming. You are not helpless. You are not trapped. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. What's happening right now, the pain you're experiencing, is not a punishment. It's a rebirth. Just like the seed buried beneath the earth has to push through the dark, cold soil before it can reach the light, so too will you rise. There's a force inside you that cannot be denied. You may not see it clearly yet, but it's there, and it's moving you towards something incredible. Think about the way a seed grows. It's buried in the dark, surrounded by dirt, by pressure, by forces it cannot see or control. But inside that seed is a strength that refuses to stay buried. It's the essence of life itself, of growth, of becoming. The seed doesn't question its future. It doesn't worry that it will remain underground forever. It simply does what it's meant to do. It grows. But it pushes up, breaks through the soil, and reaches toward the light. And just like that seed, you are doing the same. You are breaking through. You are pushing past the obstacles that have kept you down for so long. You may not see the full extent of your growth just yet, but the process is already underway. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's easy to get caught in the darkness, to believe that the weight of everything will never lift, that the pain will never end. It's despair, that we make every effort to believe it will never end. But let me remind you, darkness is not your destiny. It is merely the soil, the temporary ground from which your strength will emerge. There is growth in this darkness, there is purpose in this struggle, and the beauty of the transformation you're undergoing will be something you can't yet fully comprehend. Your pain is not in vain. It is a part of the process, a necessary step in your evolution. You are not being broken. You are being shaped. You are being molded into something stronger, something more resilient, something that no amount of darkness can ever diminish. Every tear, every challenge, every setback has been a step toward this moment. You are learning, you are growing, and you are becoming. And in that becoming, you will find something incredible. Your true power. The power to rise, the power to create, the power to take what has happened to you and turn it into something meaningful, something beautiful. No, it's not going to happen overnight. Yes, it will take time, but I promise you, the transformation is already underway. It's happening right now in ways you cannot see yet, in places you can't even fathom. But soon, you will feel it. Soon you will recognize it. You will feel that strength growing within you, rising to the surface, ready to change everything. In this moment of darkness, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. This is not the end. This is the beginning of something new. You are on the verge of your breakthrough. The seeds have already been planted, and they are growing, no matter how small the progress seems. You are on the brink of something incredible. The growth you've been waiting for, the change you've been longing for. It's happening, whether you see it or not. So let the darkness be the fertile ground that nourishes you. Let it be the place where you bloom, and when you finally emerge, when you rise into the light, you will see that the person who went into the dark is not the person who comes out. You will be stronger, more powerful, and more capable than you ever imagined. The journey has only just begun, and you are about to witness the most incredible transformation of your life. You are the seed, you are the growth, and you are about to break through. You are not a victim, not anymore. You may have felt like one, you may have believed that life had pushed you into a corner, that you were at the mercy of circumstances and other people's choices. But I need you to hear this right now. You are the hero of this story. The hero, not the victim. The one who is meant to rise, to overcome, to conquer every obstacle that has tried to hold you back. The one who has been forged in the fire of struggle, who has been tempered by the heat of pain. The one who holds the key to their own freedom. You're no longer the one waiting for someone else to save you. You are the one who will forge your path. You are the one who will write your own story. No more waiting for the world to offer you permission, for someone to come along and hand you the answers. You have everything inside you to break free from the chains that have held you back. You may have felt powerless before, but that was a lie. That was a temporary illusion. Your power has always been within you, and it's time to wake up to it, to claim it as your own, to stop giving away your energy to people or circumstances that don't deserve it. The power you've been waiting for isn't something that can be given to you. It's something you already possess. True power doesn't come from validation or approval from others. It doesn't come from the outside world applauding your every move. It comes from within. It comes from knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you have everything you need inside you to create the life you want. The world may have tried to dim your light, but it's time for you to turn it up. The world may have tried to tell you you weren't enough, but it's time for you to show them just how wrong they were. You are more than enough. Your journey, the one you're walking right now, is yours alone. The road may be tough, the path may be littered with challenges, but you are no stranger to challenges. You've faced them before, and each time you've gotten stronger. Each time you've grown, each time you've learned something invaluable. Pain doesn't have to break you. It doesn't have to make you feel small or insignificant. Pain can be your fuel. It can be the very thing that propels you forward, that pushes you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Think back to the struggles you've faced. Think about the times when you thought you couldn't go on, when you felt like you had nothing left. Now, ask yourself, did you give up? Did you stay down? No, you didn't. You fought. You pushed through. That fight, that resilience, that's your strength. That's the fire inside you. It's the fire that keeps you going when everyone else would have quit. It's the fire that has burned in you all along, and now it's time to let it blaze. Every struggle you've faced, every setback, every moment of pain, it's all been preparing you for this. It's all been teaching you something you need to know. Pain is not the enemy. It's the teacher. It's the lesson. It's the forge that shapes you into who you were always meant to be. Without it, you would never know your true strength. Without it, you would never understand just how far you can go. Think about it. You've been knocked down before, haven't you? You've been told you weren't good enough, that you wouldn't make it. But here you are. You're still standing. You're still moving forward, even when it felt impossible. And that is proof of your power. You've survived every storm you've faced, and you are still here. That's no accident. That's not luck. That's your strength. That's your resilience. And now it's time for you to take that power and use it. It's time for you to stop seeing yourself as the victim and start seeing yourself as the hero. You are the one who has the strength to break free from the chains. You are the one who can turn every setback into a lesson, every struggle into an opportunity. You are the one who will rise. You have the power to rewrite your story. You have the power to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to live your truth. The power to create your own life is within you. Your past struggles, your pain, your failures, they're not something to be ashamed of. They are the foundation of your resilience. They are the stepping stones on your path to greatness. What if I told you that your pain doesn't have to be something that holds you back? What if I told you that it can be the very thing that propels you to where you want to go? Every tear you've shed, every wound you've endured, every obstacle you've faced, they've all been a part of your journey. They've all been shaping you, making you stronger, preparing you for the moment when you would finally stand tall and claim your power. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are stronger than you were yesterday. You are more powerful than you ever realized. And every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. The hero's journey is never easy, but you don't need it to be easy. You need it to be yours, and it is. So right now, today, take that first step. Take back your power. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's your time. It's already your time. You've already fought your hardest battles. You've already survived the worst. Now you get to rise. Now you get to step into your power and create a future that is entirely your own. It's time to build from within. It's time to take that pain, that struggle, and use it to fuel your ascent. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by your resilience, by your strength, by your ability to keep going no matter what. You are the hero of your own story, and your journey has just begun. You thought the darkness was the end of you. You thought it would consume you, swallow you whole, leave you as nothing more than a shadow of who you were meant to be. You thought that the pain would be your permanent state, that the lies they told you would define your entire existence. But here's the truth. The darkness was never meant to be your home. The shadows were never meant to keep you hidden. You weren't meant to stay buried. What they told you, what they whispered in your ear, those were just lies. All of them. Lies designed to keep you small, to keep you caged, to keep you from seeing your own potential. But those lies have no power over you anymore. You're not defined by what they said. You're not defined by their doubts, their criticisms, or their fear of what you might become. Those are just shadows, empty and fleeting. And the light within you, that light is real. It's time to rise. Right now, right in this moment, you have everything you need to stand tall, to show the world who you really are. The power that you've been searching for, it was never in anyone else's approval or validation. It was inside you all along. The moment you choose to see it, to claim it, is the moment you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Think about it. How many times have you been waiting for someone to give you the green light? How many times have you looked outside yourself for permission to move forward, to live your truth, to show up as the person you really are? But now you know, you don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's validation. You are the architect of your own future. This moment, right here, right now, this is your awakening. This is your rebirth. It's time to step into your truth. You were never meant to be a victim of your circumstances. You were never meant to be stuck in the chains of doubt and fear. You were always meant to be the victor. You were always meant to rise above the noise, to rise above the fear, to rise above everything that has tried to bring you down. And now, you see it, don't you? You see your power. You see your potential. You see that the world can no longer dictate who you are or what you can become. It's not about proving them wrong anymore. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. It's about showing yourself what you're really made of. This is your moment. This is your time. This is the moment when everything changes. No more waiting. No more wondering if you're enough. No more asking for permission to be great. You've already been great. You've always been great. It's time for the world to see it. Your journey has been long, but it was never in vain. Every single step you've taken, every single struggle, every single tear, it has been leading you to this point. This is the moment when you realize you were never meant to be anything less than extraordinary. You were never meant to be anything less than the force of nature you were born to be. And now it's time for the world to witness it. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the echo of their doubts. You are the living, breathing, unstoppable force that is about to rise up and claim what is yours. The world hasn't seen anything like you yet. And when you step into your power, when you fully embrace who you are, they will never forget the name that will echo in the halls of history. This is your turning point. This is the moment when you choose to stop playing small. This is the moment when you decide to stop holding back, to stop hiding, to stop pretending you're anything less than magnificent. It's your time. It's always been your time. You are the one who holds the pen. You are the one who gets to write your own story from this moment forward. And you're not just writing any story. You're writing a story of triumph, a story of transformation, a story of someone who refused to stay down, who refused to let life define them, who rose against all odds and claimed their rightful place in the world. The lies they told you, they don't matter. The doubts they planted in your mind, they don't matter. The only thing that matters now is you. So, let me ask you, are you ready to rise? Are you ready to show the world what happens when you step into your power, when you choose to stand tall and unapologetic? Are you ready to show them that you are a force to be reckoned with? This is your moment. This is your time to shine. No more hiding, no more waiting. The time is now. You stand at the threshold now, no longer bound by the weight of what they tried to impose on you. All those years of silence, of doubt, of feeling small, they were never yours to carry. Those labels they slapped on you, they were never yours to wear. You were never meant to be confined by their perceptions of you. You were never meant to play the role they scripted for you. You are not a victim of circumstances. No longer will you allow the world to dictate who you are or what you can achieve. The pain you once carried has been transformed into the very fuel that drives you forward. The darkness you walk through has become the foundation upon which your light now stands. You are the one who chose to rise. You chose to rise above the lies, to rise above the limitations, to rise above everything that tried to keep you from your true potential. Look at the person you are now, the person you are becoming. Strong, resilient, unstoppable. The version of you that once feared the unknown is now the one who faces it with unwavering confidence. The version of you who doubted their worth is now the one who stands in the full power of their self-belief. The version of you who once shrank in the face of adversity now steps forward, fully aware that every challenge is just another opportunity to show the world what you're made of. You've shed the old skin. The old you, that version of yourself who couldn't see their own greatness, who let others dictate their worth, that person is gone. And in their place is the one who knows their value, the one who understands their purpose, the one who looks at the mirror and sees strength, not scars. You are not the sum of your struggles. You are the dreamer. You are the doer. You are the one who will never be silenced again. Think about where you're going now. Think about the future that lies ahead of you. Can you see it? Picture it. Visualize it. It's a future where you walk in confidence, where you don't need anyone's approval to take the next step. A future where your dreams are not just dreams. They are your reality. You're no longer waiting for things to align or for permission to take the lead. You're the one setting the course, the one forging the path, the one carving out a destiny that's uniquely yours. In this future, you are thriving. You are not struggling to survive. You are flourishing. You wake up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that you have the strength to take on whatever comes your way. You don't see obstacles. You see opportunities, and with each opportunity, you rise higher, stronger, more determined than ever before. You know your worth. You know that the challenges you face are just part of the journey, not roadblocks, but stepping stones that propel you forward. Every setback, every failure only serves to sharpen your resolve. You now understand that nothing and no one can stop you from achieving what you've set your mind to. The only limits are the ones you choose to impose on yourself, and you've long since discarded them. In this future, nothing is impossible. You are capable of achieving everything you once thought was out of reach. The dreams that once seemed too far away, too unreachable, they are now right in front of you, and you're walking toward them, confidently, with every step you take. You've come to understand that your potential was never limited by circumstances, by the past, or by the opinions of others. Your potential was always infinite, and now you're stepping into it fully. You are the one who rises in the face of adversity. You are the one who stands tall when others shrink away. You are the one who never backs down. And as you move forward into this future, you carry with you the wisdom of your struggles, the strength of your survival, and the unshakable belief that there is nothing you cannot achieve. Look at your old self, that version of you who didn't believe, who hesitated, who doubted. That person is fading into the distance. Look at the new you, the one who stands tall with clarity, with confidence, with courage, the one who has reclaimed their power, reclaimed their voice, and reclaimed their place in the world. You've rewritten the story, you've reshaped the narrative, and now you're living it. This future, it's yours. It's not just a possibility, a distant dream. It's a certainty, because you have chosen to step into it. You've chosen to believe in your worth, in your strength, in your ability to shape your own destiny, and nothing can take that away from you. You have already won the battle. You've already overcome the impossible. Now it's time to claim the victory. It's time to step into the full realization of who you are. Unstoppable, unshakable, and undeniably worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of. This is the beginning of the rest of your life, and nothing will ever be the same again. The time to act is now. You've felt the shift. You've walked through the darkness, discovered the strength within you, and witnessed your own transformation. No more waiting, no more hesitating. This is the moment to rise, to step into the power you've unearthed, and to begin rewriting your story. For far too long, you've been waiting for someone else to give you permission, waiting for the world to give you a sign, waiting for the world to give you a sign, waiting, but you are the sign. You've always been. You don't need validation from anyone else. You don't need anyone to tell you that you are capable, because you know. You know that the time to take action is now. So, what's next? How do you move forward from here? How do you ensure that this isn't just a moment of inspiration that fades with time? You take action. It's time to move from the realm of dreams to the realm of reality. This is where it all begins. The moment you start walking in the direction of your true self. Here's your roadmap to action. 1. Define your vision. What is it that you truly want? What is the life that you've been dreaming of? Write it down. Don't just think about it. Make it tangible. Start with clarity. If you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. So define it. Define who you are becoming. You are no longer the person who questions their worth. You are the person who knows they are destined for greatness. Write your vision and make it non-negotiable. Now that you have your vision, break it down into small, actionable steps. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. What does success look like for you? Is it starting that business? Is it pursuing a career you've always wanted? Is it finally stepping into your full power? Whatever it is, break it down into achievable steps. No matter how small, action is action. Each step you take brings you closer to your vision. 3. Take the first step. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most critical. Don't overthink it, just start. Pick one thing today that brings you closer to your goal and take that step. Don't wait for the right time. There is no perfect moment. The moment is now. You are the one creating the conditions for your success. So start. Even if it's small, it is the beginning of everything. Success doesn't happen overnight, and the journey is not a straight line. But here's the truth. Moment will carry you further than you ever imagined. Each small victory leads to a bigger one. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. With each win, you build strength. With each step forward, you prove to yourself that you are capable. And as you move, you'll find that the path becomes clearer. The more you take action, the more confident you become in your ability to achieve your vision. 5.1. Embrace the struggles. Know this, there will be challenges. There will be moments when you stumble, when you doubt, when the road feels too hard. But those struggles, they're part of your story. They are part of what makes you unstoppable. The pain, the failures, the setbacks. They are the lessons that will make your success even sweeter. So don't fear them. Don't avoid them. Embrace them as opportunities to grow. You are strong enough to face them. 6.6 Stay consistency. The key to transformation is consistency. It's not about how hard you go in a short burst. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's difficult, even when the results aren't immediate. Consistency is the true test of commitment. It's the difference between talking about your goals and actually achieving them. Keep pushing forward even on the tough days. The small actions compound over time, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. 7. Surround yourself with strength. You cannot do this alone. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who push you, who believe in you. Seek out those who are on the same journey of growth and transformation. You will need people to remind you of your strength when you forget. You will need people who celebrate your wins and help you rise after your losses. Find your tribe and together, rise. This is where it all changes. The struggle is over. The wait is over. You've already endured the storm. Now it's time to stand in the sunlight you've earned. It's time to stop letting fear control your decisions. It's time to stop letting doubt dictate your future. You have the power to create the life you want. The key is in your hands. Now, take action. Don't wait another second. This is the moment you've been preparing for. This is the moment you become the person you were always meant to be. You were never broken. You were simply waiting for the moment to rise again, stronger than ever. And now that moment is here. So rise up, claim your power, and rewrite your story. You are the author of your future, and today you begin the next chapter. The time is now.